Okay, what's up, everybody? All right, so I have good news and bad news, right? The bad news is I wish I was recording this whole process because this was pretty dope. The good news is I can still explain it, right? So I only took one trade, and I'm only gonna take one trade for today. I'm gonna show you my account history so you can see I'm not capping. Today's date 10/31. $46 this is an account that I spiraled, right? So I blew up. Like I didn't have the mental fortitude that I thought I did back here in June 7th. And for that, normally I've been doing like a 1 month paper account challenge where I just start with amount of money and try to manage it up higher. I haven't been able to hit my goal yet, but with this spiral and this new form of trading that I'm doing with like recording things and all that, um I'm going to keep this same account that I spiraled, and I'm probably just going to stick with this for like the rest of the year, honestly, and just try to build it up. Because that, I realized just me keep resetting was like me resetting my problems, right? So it was like, oh, that never happened, let's start over, when I know it happened and I know it bothers me. Okay, so enough rambling. So only one trade today. um that's the executions. If you want to see, got in on this area, sold at this low. I mean, obviously you could have held for 13 points, but this was the what I was comfortable taking, because that was London's low. So that's what I was really looking for. Okay. Yeah, this retrace, honestly. So I'll just go over like the entry, I guess. So this retrace, this highlighted area, was really just like a market structure play. Like, we already broke down, right? We already broke market structure all the way up here. And I was looking up here, but I missed this entry, right? And my Wi-Fi bugged out, right? If y'all know, y'all know my Wi-Fi is trash. So I missed this. So I was like, damn. But I know that with these sell models, because that's really what this was, right? Accumulation here, manipulation higher into this area, smart money reversal, and then distribution lower. So that's the sell model. But I know with these that they're normally like the first level of distribution, which was this area. That normally isn't it. Like, if there's still more sell side liquidity targets, you can get entry, right? And I didn't take this one because I just wasn't comfortable with it, honestly. I was like, I don't really have, I mean, I have things to base it on, like I have this gap. I mean, I already broke structure and whatever. We have this order block here. Yeah, great. But this one was something I was more comfortable with. It had the look that I wanted. So even if I didn't catch the big move, you know what I'm saying, I still caught something sizable that has my account higher than where it was before. So that's a win, right? That's not a bad thing. That's good to be able to do this and not try to chase and get shaken out or blown up on these retraces. That's a good thing. So um I'll definitely make note of that. But this was like the risk reward. 6 points. I had it above this OB over here because I normally use order blocks as like to where to put my stop. If it's not like market structure, it's normally where to put my stop. Or if there's like a turtle soup, like the fake run on liquidity, I normally put it on that high. But once we got here, and then we broke below this swing low, right? Once we broke that and we closed there, then I moved my stop from here and I reduced it down to this, right? Not to move it to break even yet, because I know sometimes that retrace could be a little crazy, but I just wanted to at least reduce my risk. So instead of, what was it? Instead of the 6 points, 6.5 points, it was now a point and a quarter, right? Or 3/4, sorry, math. Right. So when it started actually beelining here, I was like, I might as well just lock in break even. So I moved it break even, and then obviously it sold me out. So that was good. But that was just the ES, right? That was just the entry, because I'm kind of three screening it. So I have my phone where I'm recording this with the ES, like my entry, because I could operate off of that. But on my laptop, which has been a struggle because my Wi-Fi has been cutting out like all day, so it's just been like reload, refresh, reload, refresh. But on my laptop, okay, I'll try to show this the best I can. Okay, go to the dollar, right? Because I've been using a dollar. to help with confirmation entries, and it's been pretty dope. So far it's been pretty cool. It's actually been really cool, really. So with the pre-market analysis, right, I had these, if you watched it, I had these 3 highs as targets that I wanted the dollar to hit, right? I had these highs that I wanted it to run, and you can see that we ran all of those, right? So on this run up, I was okay, I'm seeing higher dollar means lower indices, right? But how the ES entry was, or how that model formed, it was the model that I look for, because I trade sell models and then use my entry model to get into those. But it didn't look like how I'm comfortable with it looking. Like, there's some sell models that I really can't play because they look weird and they throw me off. It's so weird. Once you'll know what I mean. You know what I mean if you know what I mean. But anyway, so we ran the first high, right? Like after 8:30. So I was like, okay, cool. It's not my time window, because an important concept to know with ICT, especially, like, the most important thing, forget the order blocks and breakers and all that thing, the most important thing is time, right? Because you could have the best looking entry model and all the gizmos and gadgets and all the little pieces that you want to see, but if it's the wrong time, then it's normally lower probability. So I had to wait until 9:30. So I was like, okay, the first one was hit by 8:30, bet. Then we had this little down close here with expansion higher. So I was like, okay, these are probably going to be order blocks, but I have to wait for the follow through. But we did set a swing higher right at this high. So I was like, okay, we're probably going to run that. 9:30 comes, yada yada, boom, we hit it at 10 on the hour when the news released. And that's when that market maker sell model happened, because the second this 10 o'clock happened on the MES, on the, I think it's a 2-minute. Is it a 2-minute? Yeah, the second that 10 o'clock happened was the same time this entry happened on the ES in this fair value gap, right after we broke structure. So that was cool. I just didn't take it because I was like, I don't know. And then I didn't like these equal highs up here, but I'm sure ICT's video is gonna tell me why that was a stupid thing to think, right? So yeah. Okay, so dollar moving higher. So I'm okay, dollar higher, indice lower, dollar higher, indice lower. I'm just repeating that. Then I went to like lower time frame, and I was okay, I want to catch the retraces because I feel like we're gonna run these 3. So at this point we ran the second one. So I was like, okay, we still have leg room for the third one to be ran. So that could probably be where I'll get my short on the ES. So once we started accumulating above this high, I was like, okay, cool. Now the algo is engineering more liquidity, right? So it flushed, or it ran, not really flushed, but it turtle souped this sell side liquidity on the hair. These lows right here, these equal lows right here, it flushed that with this candle. That was flushed out. So I was like, okay, cool. If that happens, that means that this down close, right, will probably be a bullish order block. So once we flush that, and then we had this follow through, right, we had this expansion higher, displacement, right, we created a gap, and we broke a high, right, and we even broke this short-term high, right? So we broke these 2 short-term highs. So I was like, bet, okay. So at that point, it took that high out, and I was like, cool, now we're probably going to come for this, but we need to probably retrace into this fair value gap and order block. And that's what this orange/yellow line is. I normally use that line for like market structure. So I was like, okay, I want to see how price reacts to the high of this. And while this is happening, so this is from 10 o'clock to 10:20. Okay, so on the MES, no, from 10 o'clock to 10:20, 10 o'clock to 10:20. I entered on a 1-minute, right? So 10 o'clock to 10:20. My entry was 10:25, right? That was what my entry was, 10:25 on that. Back to the 5-minute. No, not the 5. It was a 2. Yeah, okay. So my entry was 10:25. So that's, you can see that it actually hit the order block at 10:20, but there's a little like lag in the correlation. Like, it's not every inch that this dollar moves, the NDC moves the exact same way. There's a lag in between the movements. So I was like, okay, cool. We rebalanced this, And then I want to see another follow through with expansion higher to take out this high, kind of like how a buy model does. It sets highs, retrace, break, set high, retrace, set high, right? So once that happened, and I saw the expansion higher, I was like, okay, the short setup that I'm seeing has more value than I thought. And I knew what target to look to sell at, which was this high, right? The highest high that I had us, or at least the highest high that I was looking for the dollar to run. If it goes higher than that, great. But it hit the 3 highs that I wanted. So yeah, so that's how I use the dollar with confirmation on the ES. It's still a work in progress. It's still a little iffy, because had I used it like the correct way, I would have gotten that 10 o'clock entry on the MES. Okay, so the other thing that I was looking at, that I feel like I'm slowly getting, but I'm not even gonna jinx myself, because I know it's it's still a work in progress. So I was using some divergence, right? Yeah, I know, divergence. Okay, so on the NQ, on the hour, I was like, okay, cool. So we made, oh no, it's doing something. All right. So I was like, okay, cool. NQ made a higher high than London. All right, that's cool. I'm gonna try to make these green so they pop out. So the NQ made a higher high. I'm not doing that part on my phone though. I was doing it on my laptop. I have like the 3 windows on TradingView. Like, you do the split screen for one, like split down the middle, and then you compare with the second chart so you can have the 3 screens. Right. This is hype, man. This is dope. Like, that felt good, even though it wasn't a lot. Like, that felt good to see that happen. Okay, so I saw NQ made a higher high after London, right? And then the ES made a higher high after London. And then I looked at the YM, and the YM also made a higher high after London. So I was like, okay, there's no divergence there. But what about the low, right? The 3 o'clock low. So I saw that the YM, I mean, it still hasn't taken it yet, but it's close. The YM hasn't taken the London low yet, and at the time, oh my god. And at the time, the ES didn't take the London low either. The NQ was the only one that took London's low. You see, like, it's way below that. So I was like, okay, they've all made a higher high. That's great. But the actual divergence is in what low they took. So I took that plus the dollar ES correlation and confirmation entry, as we already ran stops on a buy side for all indices. All of them ran, they took that higher high. They all made that higher high, but they haven't all ran the sell side liquidity, which would be opposing that buy side liquidity. So we should expect some form of lower prices, right? I didn't really try to think like the magnitude, or we're gonna go all the way down here, and I wasn't really trying to look at all that stuff. But since the NQ took out London, right, I was like, its target is most likely Asian, right? Because that's just the next low to come for, and it obviously took that, right? So I had basically the NQ targeting Asia's low, and then the ES and YM targeting London's low. So all of that to say that I'm glad this worked. This is pretty. I'm definitely gonna. I mean, this video is already the note-taking process of it, but I just wanted to share that. That's what it was. I'm done paper trading. I'm not done paper trading forever, but this is the one and only trade I'm going to take for the day, because all of these things align, and I was able to execute, right? Because I could have been scared. I could have held off clicking the button. I could have been like, well, I don't have enough data, but I was like, I've heard these things and seen these things work so many times. So I'm gonna take this in strides and just be like, if it works, it works. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But even now with the 3 indices, right? S&P or ES has taken that low. NQ has taken Asian, but YM still hasn't taken that 3 o'clock low. Still, it came close, but it still didn't take it. So I don't know where to go from there, and I don't really care to know where to go from there. I'll probably just observe. But that's all I got. I don't want to be rambling. Yeah, that's it. Bye.